Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're back to watch some Monat girlies. This main rep that we're watching today is Jasmine. She's from the UK and I don't know who she's gonna interview. I don't know if it's another UK rep, but I thought I don't really cover European MLM huns a lot, so these Monat UK girlies have been wilding lately, I guess you can say. So I decided to cover them a little bit more often. I don't know why I can't talk today, but anyway, that's what we're gonna do today. We already watched an interview with Jasmine and Faith, and yeah, we'll see what happens today. Before we get into the video, don't forget that you can click that like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel. That's a nice free way to do that. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and let's just start.
Now this is a really exciting conversation from me, Yasmin Oakley, based in the UK, and Jordan Pritchard, who is all the way over in America. Now, me and Jordan actually met on our brand trip to Miami in March. And you know, like when you just meet someone for the first time and you just click, like it's an instant click, right? And you're like, where have you been all my life? I feel like I've known you forever. We literally stayed up till like the ridiculous hours in the morning, talking, chatting, yapping, all the things. And we've got a hilarious photo of us like deep in conversation. So we are going to be talking all things business. Between us, we've actually got 5 kids.
I'm smiling because it happened to me recently. It hasn't happened in a very long time, but it happened to me recently when I was swiping Korean Tinder before going to Korea because I wanted to find some friends and potential dates. And I ended up meeting this woman who is amazing, and we clicked straight away from first message. It's nice when that happens, but I always wonder with MLM huns, like, is it really genuine? Or I wonder if one of them leaves Monat. Would they still be besties though? What do you guys think?
And we are building this online business, slinging shampoo on our social media and to our network. And our businesses are actually very similar, like very, very similar. But we're going to be sharing a bit more about our story, how we got to where we are, and kind of what's coming in the future. So let's...
You know what? Something else I think about a lot is like these MLM huns, they often talk about their stories. And they're talking about their stories because they want to recruit new people into their team, right? But what about the people and the followers that already know your story? Are they supposed to listen to your story every single time you do a video on it on your Instagram? Because like, how many times can you listen to someone else's story of how they got into a product-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion? You know what I mean? Just a thought.
Now, we have actually had some tech difficulties with this already today. So I'm hoping that this is going to be seamless.
Girl,
Hey!
Oh God.
I know, it's so good to see you as well. The signal on my end doesn't seem to be great. Like you're a bit glitchy, but I mean, we can work with this. At least we're on. At least we're on.
at least we're on at this point, honestly. I miss you so much. You guys, she was just saying, like, some people you just click with, and I, like, as soon as we met, we were like, wait a minute, you're my girl.
No, it's true. Like even the conversations that we had in the pool, like, and obviously we've got a video of all of us in the pool, but like you can hear some of our conversation when you watch the video back. Like we were talking about anything and everything. Let me tell you, it was hilarious. But I mentioned that we obviously both have kids, so I'd love for the people in my audience watching this who don't know who you are, to like for you to introduce yourself and kind of give like a bit of a background.
Yes, so I'm Jordan Pritchard. I'm a mom of 3. I have a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old. When I started this business, I had just had my oldest daughter, so she was just a few months old, and I just made a post on this the other day, actually. It was like in the throes of postpartum. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was a brand new mom. I had every excuse in the book not to start something new, especially something like outside of my wheelhouse. But there was just like this, do you ever have like this gut feeling where you're like, no, I need to do this? That was kind of like what I felt in the moment. I was like, no, I need to do this. And looking back, it was the best, like, crazy decision I ever made in my life because it changed everything for me. Because at the time, my husband was working and he travels a lot with his job. But I was getting ready to go back to school to become a physical therapist. I had just graduated with my undergrad. And I was like, it was going to be like a long road ahead. And like I said, I had a brand new daughter, and I was like, wait a minute, am I going to go back to school, leave her while I'm at school and just be super busy studying, doing all the things, and take out more student loans? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to miss out on like the newborn stage, because you only get that one time and it flies by. So I
Mateja.
know it makes my heart ache. So I like went again.
Way to make parents who have to go back to work after having kids feel guilty, but also like if some parents choose to go back to work after having kids, because not everyone wants to be a stay-at-home parent, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I always say this, but I really don't like how these huns usually, in most cases when they talk about this, you can feel the judgmental tone. Maybe that's just me, but like I feel like they always have that tone when they say this, like that they're purposely trying to make people or parents try to feel guilty, you know?
All my family was like, you have to go to school, you have to get your degree. And I was like, I think I'm going to go all in on my shampoo business. And they were
Do you
like,
know what though?
wait.
That's so hard though, because especially if you're someone that's close with your family, or there's people in your family who you really value their opinion, or you go to them in times of crisis, or you really rely on
Yeah,
them. Like, if actually those people are kind of challenging you, or like suggesting other
yeah,
alternatives, or are not fully behind you, like that's a really big step for you to take personally, because you're the only person really that can see the vision. Because if they saw the vision,
right.
they would back you. Like,
Exactly.
it's so hard.
Maybe it's not about them not seeing the vision. Maybe it's them seeing that it's a product-based pyramid scheme, and the majority, in my opinion, and the majority of people in MLMs, including Monat, don't make any profit. Maybe that they're just trying to have your back and not have you join this scam, in my opinion, this bad business opportunity. Maybe that's just it, not the vision. Not the fact that they don't see the vision. What vision? Like, you have 99% of chances of never making any profit in it. So it's really hard to focus on the vision there, isn't it?
100%. But the thing is, I was using the products. It was the first time in my life that I had ever fallen in love with a hair care brand. Like, it was actually doing what it said it was going to
Oh,
do.
so you
And I was
were a
seeing,
customer first.
I was a customer first for like 2 weeks, and then I upgraded to market partner, but
Okay.
I didn't like run full force, because all the, things that we tell
Yeah.
ourselves, right? So, but I jumped in, and I mean, I love the products. And then I was seeing all these women like become super successful by just simply sharing their hair care on social media and sharing the business opportunity. And I was like, no, I know that girl. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. And like, if all of these women are seeing success, why not me? Like, of course it's going to take me getting out of my comfort zone, doing the things that like I'm not comfortable doing or that I've never done before. But like, you don't get different results by doing the same thing. So I was like, let me just go all in and run with this. And now we're 6 years in, and I've been able to build this thing from home with my babies crawling all over
And
me,
family
and like not.
growing as well, because you've had two more children since you obviously had your first daughter.
Girl, and going through like pregnancy and postpartum and being able to fit this business in seamlessly, like that's the biggest flex, honestly, because I mean, I know some of my friends have to count down like their maternity leave, because here in the States we get 6 weeks. I mean, 6 weeks. I know. It's like your baby is still very fresh
What?
at 6 weeks. So like having to go back to work that quickly is just, that's hard. And then if you think about like a nursing mom, they have to pump, and it's just,
True, but like, you don't get any maternity or any benefits when you're in an MLM. Also, you're working for free. What are you saying? Like, a lot of the people who have kids, if they're just doing MLM, they're still working. Like, how many times have we watched a live stream from a person have like a newborn baby strapped to them, live streaming and trying to recruit people into the MLM? In the MLM, you're still working. And the worst part is you're not even getting any benefits. Like, yeah, 6 weeks is very, very little for maternity, but in an MLM, you don't even get 6 weeks. What are we talking about?
it's very hard and very heavy for moms to have to deal with that. So I'm very thankful that my pregnancy and postpartum has looked how it has, because I get to be recovering in bed and texting my friends about their hair care and helping my friends build their business while snuggling my baby, and it's just the
But
best of
also,
both worlds.
it's you're grateful like for the way that that's looked. But if it wasn't for your courageousness and your open-mindedness at the beginning, you wouldn't have been there. You would have been going back to work. You would have been going back to school, getting your degree and all of that. And I think this is where I talk a lot about on my socials. Like, you just need to be open, even if at the end of looking at all the information or even trying the business, it's actually not for you. At least you can say you've tried it, or at least you made an educated decision. Because I feel like way too many people count themselves out from just seeing a few stories here and there from people, and it's like, no, like, you actually need to look and ask all the questions and get all the information so that you can really make that decision. Because like, I know there's going to be so many people in like my audience and your audience, whether they're watching this on live or on replay, that are like in a situation that they don't necessarily want to be in, or like the future, maybe they have got kids, maybe they're thinking about having kids, and actually they want that flexibility. Maybe kids aren't even on their radar, but actually they want to be able to, like for me today, I've gone and had a blow dry from one of the girls. I've done like a 2-hour round trip, spent girly time with one of my babes, like, and she's done my hair. Like, I couldn't do that if I was in my old work. You wouldn't be able to do that if you were like at school and like then obviously in the line of work that you were going into. Like, you just have to be open-minded.
Well, and the thing is, like, I completely
MLMs are not the solution. If you want all of that, you're not gonna get that in an MLM. Like, yeah, you get location freedom, but like I said, oftentimes you work all the time. And just because you might be physically present with your kids, it doesn't mean that you're actually present if you're always focused on working your biz, which the majority of people are not even profiting from working their biz. So again, what are we talking about? I have my own business. I'm a freelancer. I edit videos for YouTubers. My business has been doing so well lately, got amazing clients. It took me a while to get here, and it all started with Julie Joe. Julie Joe, I love you. I can work from anywhere. That's why I'm going to Korea. I'm gonna go to Japan. Maybe I even go to Thailand. I can work from anywhere. I can be literally anywhere in the world. Have all the freedom. One day when I have a kid, I won't have to go back to work because I work from home, and I'm gonna be present with my kid. I'm still gonna have to work, and I still get paid. The most important thing is I still get paid for the amount of hours that I work and the effort that I put into editing these videos, which is, again, something that does not happen for MLM distributors, for the majority of them.
regret starting as slow as I did, because before I got started, well, Monat's still very new, but I mean, I was right after Monat was brand new. So I was seeing women doing it, but I was automatically like, oh no, I could never do that. I could never do that. And then I finally jumped in and I'm like, I wish I would have done it sooner. And so you would hate to get a couple of years down the road and be like, dang, I remember seeing those girls go live, talk about this opportunity, and I just immediately counted myself out. You lose nothing in trying is the thing. You're gonna buy your own hair care anyways. You might as well get hair care that performs and has a business attached to it, you know?
There's a lot of regular hair care products that you can buy very cheap and affordable in a drugstore that work.
Because the sky's the limit.
Exactly, but hindsight's a beautiful thing, because like you said, there will be people who join us in 2 years' time that will have listened to this and seen all of our stuff and been like, I wish I'd have jumped in when these girls said. But equally, like, you don't need to join an opportunity at the beginning to be successful. Like, Monat had been in the UK for, I think it was around 5 years before like me and my girls came in, and are now obviously doing what we're doing as the #1 team in the UK, and literally like we dominate the leaderboards every month. Like, it's just crazy. So as much as yes, the best time is at the very beginning. Like, in the UK right now, we're not at the very beginning. Don't get me wrong, we still have
very
like
baby opportunities.
Yeah, it still is, but like, we're not at the start either, and look what we've done in less than 2 years. So
exactly,
it's still all to play for. 100%.
Yeah. So tell me about how you got started, because I haven't heard your story.
So I was actually in this industry for nearly 3 years before I joined 1-8, so this is not my first rodeo.
What do you mean? You are besties and you talk so much about everything, but you've never heard her story before of how she joined? What? Isn't like job, work, career, and all that kind of stuff something that people talk about early on in the friendship or knowing each other? Maybe that's just me, but like, that's just the basic information that I always want to know about any of my friends. I find that a little bit odd, but okay.
She's like, I've been here.
I'm seasoned. No, I'm absolutely not seasoned. I was in a previous business, and the reason that I got into the industry in the first place was I'm an Ibiza girl, I'm a party girl, so I'd gone and done a summer in Ibiza, living my best life, party and all the things. Prior to that, I was in retail management. So I was the youngest female store manager in Marks and Spencer's, which is, anyone's listening to this will know, in the UK. I don't think they've got it over in America. But like when I was 19, so I was like climbing the corporate ladder from like a teenager, and I'd seen my mum go to work in a suit every day, single mum, boss woman, like has taught me everything I know, you know. And I was very like closed-minded and truly believed to be successful, you climb that corporate ladder and you went to work in a suit every day. When I came back from my summer in Ibiza, obviously I said goodbye to that job.
That's not close-minded. Why is that close-minded? If you want to climb the ladder, you go climb that ladder. Obviously, like, if you think the only way is to climb the ladder, sure, but like, are you really open-minded if you want to join a product-based pyramid scheme where the majority of people, statistically proven, don't make any profit? How does that make you more open-minded?
I was really naive to think that because of my CV and my experience that I was going to be able to get a job really easily. I was in so much debt. I was driving around in a banger of a car, and I'm a car girlie. Like, I love cars, like I do. And I'll say that straight up, like I love it. And I ended up basically working 2 to 3 jobs to try and get myself out of debt, had to move back home with my parents. It was not ideal. And one of my friends at the time, she was in a different business and she was making over 10 grand a month, and she just got a brand new Mercedes. And I was like, how are you working less hours than me? You're making more money than me and you're driving around in a fresh whip. Like, I need to do this. I'd watched her for 6 months. I knew what she was doing, but I didn't want to be an Instagram girl.
Oof.
Instagram was purely for when I went out in London, standing it really posy in like 5-star hotel bathrooms, like looking all the shit, thinking I'm the it girl, you know? Like, I wasn't doing what I do now, or like how I use my social media now. So I joined, did that for 3 years, didn't truly learn how to do network marketing because it was COVID and you could do a lot of just posting and then people could come to you. So I didn't learn the skills that you actually need to build a business. And then shock, because I didn't know how to do it, my business slowly but surely went backwards. I'd had my first son, and I think I'd just given birth to my second as well. Yeah, because I joined 1-8 when my second was 4 months old and my eldest was 2. And I'm an eczema sufferer, so I know I don't look like it right now, literally standing here in the sunshine. But my skin used to be really, really bad. So I was kind of at a crossroads with knowing that I needed to leave my previous business because it didn't serve me anymore, but also looking for more like non-toxic and being more conscious of like what I was putting on my body, like my beauty products.
Yeah, why is she standing in direct sunlight like that on the window? Is she trying to get some tan while she's live streaming? It doesn't look like it's comfortable. I don't know. I mean, look at me though. I'm pale as fuck, so I never go in the sun. I feel like her face is gonna get really red from the sunlight.
And all of that. And also, I'd seen a team of girls who I had watched for years in a different business come over to Monet, and there I be for girlies like me. They love a good time, like even like stupid things like the music that they would put on their reels. I'm like, this is my music. Vibe. These are my girls. This is my home. Yeah, this is the vibe. They joined Monet. I was at the crossroads of all the things I just explained, and everything just aligned. Yeah. It was just like, this is meant to be. And I felt like I knew as soon as my family just got home. As soon as I stepped into Monet, I knew it was different. The vibe, the sexiness, everything. But I knew from a business stance, like I had to work differently. And because of how closely we work with Jack, for example, I started to quickly learn how to...
Did she say the sexiness of Monet? The vibes, the sex. Is that what she said? Did I mishear that?
Actually do network marketing and not do the whole just like posting and waiting for everything to fall on my lap, because obviously that was never going to be the case. Right. So that's my journey into it. And I love that I was so close-minded before, but then have grown as a person. 100%. Do you know what I mean? And even like mindset-wise, like when I joined my previous business, like my brother is literally giving me like swearing hands out the window trying to distract me right now, and he's one, and he's gonna love the fact that that's thrown me off track. Like, it's not just the financial things about the business. Like, I think I've become a better person because of the industry, 100%. Like the self-development stuff, and And it's
Do these people actually believe that they are becoming better people when they're literally scamming a shit ton of people out of money? How detached do you have to be? These two are on top. They have been in Monat for a long time. There is no way, in my opinion, there is no way that they don't know that the majority of people in their downline are not making any profit by working this business. But yet they always tend to say these things like, oh, I'm such a good person. I become a better person by scamming people out of money. Really?
funny because when people join, most people think they're joining for the money, and then they don't realize the community and the self-development stuff that they
Yeah.
actually stay for. Do you know what I mean?
They don't realize how much you grow through this business, whether it is the mindset or like just honestly the tools and the resources that we have or the training that we get. People would pay thousands for this, and we get it for free through this business. So you're learning things through this business that you can apply to other areas in life, whether it's another job, whether it's just being a better
It's not free because you're not in Monat for free and you're spending money on products anyway as well.
mom, a better friend, a better leader. All of these things help you in life, how to speak to people, how to like sales. That is, everybody is so afraid of sales.
Oh my God.
I love your story. It's so good. So for anybody who's watching this and they're like how kind of you and I were in the beginning where, you know, we're watching, but we haven't quite jumped on yet. What's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Be curious. That's my
Mhm.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's all I say. You have to be curious because you don't know what you don't know. And like I was kind of saying earlier, like you can't make a decision based on the information that you currently know without asking the questions that are suitable to you. So like what I say is when people are coming to me or talking, like asking questions about the business, if I have a call with them, I'll say, okay, what time do you have in your week? What time can we create in your week? What does your working schedule look like? How many kids do you have? What time do they go to bed? Like, because I want people to really understand that, yes, I might do this full time and we might be going on a live in the UK time at 4 in the afternoon. That's not everyone else's reality. And most people do this around a 9 to 5 or other commitments, you know, as an additional stream of income.
Yeah.
So it's important for me to show them that this business truly is flexible based on their commitments. But I can't do that unless people are curious.
Right.
Like I can say as much as I can on a live to you, on a story or a reel or whatever, but I can't go that deep unless you're curious enough to say, Yaz, talk to me.
Show
Like,
me.
what is this
Show
all
me
about?
what
Yeah,
it
show
looks
me.
like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And straight back to
Exactly.
you, what's your like biggest piece of advice to
Oh
anyone who
gosh,
was in our place?
I feel like, you know, if you're watching and you're curious, like let me put it this way. You're gonna buy hair care anyways, and I guarantee 9 times out of 10 you're not happy with the hair care that you're using right now anyways. So why don't you try something that's proven to perform that also comes with a business attached? You've got nothing to lose and literally everything to gain. And we have a 30-day money back guarantee on the business. Like you don't see that anywhere. And we have a less than 1% return rate. So I feel like that's mic drop. Forget everything else we said. Like that speaks
Like
volumes.
literally, the worst case in all of this is you get the business in a box, you use the products, and you get the best hair of your life.
Right.
That's the worst. That's the worst case. Am I wrong? That's the worst case in all of this. You know?
Right.
But the
Actually, worst case with Monat specifically is that these products are allegedly gonna cause hair loss because there were lawsuits, multiple lawsuits. Also, you can lose friends, you can spend a lot of money on Monat products, which, like I said, it's very expensive. There's a lot of worst case scenarios that can happen when you join an MLM, especially Monat with the hair loss.
best case is you get the box, you get the best hair of your life, you make amazing friends, you make amazing money, you live the life that you want to live. And before we jump off this, like I also think it's really important to say,
You have 99% of chances that that's never gonna happen, what she just said. Best case scenario, never gonna happen.
there are different types of women that want different things out of life in this business. For example, there might be the girls that like the bougie restaurants and they want to go and spend $5,000 on a dinner, right? There's other girls who want to like buy really expensive gym activewear and go and climb mountains. Then there's other people, and the first person that comes to my head is Taylor Winterstein in
Yes.
Australia, who lives on a 100-acre farm and rears cows and pigs and like wants 12 children
Yes.
and like, you know, like live off the fat of the earth and all of that kind of stuff, you know? So just because maybe me and Jordan might look and speak and want similar things in our life doesn't mean you have to be a girl like us to join this business. Because
What is with Monat, especially Monat, calling each other girls? These are women who have children. These are women in probably their late 30s at this point. Like, why are we calling each other girls?
it's the freedom and the flexibility that it gives you to create the life that you want.
Exactly. That was so good. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you for hopping on with me. I miss you and I can't wait to see you next month. I'm so excited.
I think we've heard more than enough. I'm gonna wrap that one up here. Let me know down below what you thought about this. If I forgot to comment on something, I probably did. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget that you can support my channel in a nice free way by liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.